Yo, what's going on, everybody? The Cool Geek here, and I'm at today. I am doing another debate video, and I'm using good old Flash. And the other person here, Solos. Can you introduce yourself and your character?
Hello, I'm using Dovakiin.
Yeah. So you want to get us started off?
Oh yeah. So the hell? Is there someone in the background?
Oh,
That's his
yeah.
sibling.
Here, let me mute. Sorry.
Okay, so Margaret is Dovakiin can speed blitz. Mine he can speed blitz. He has soul rape and mind hacks. Also, he can summon other beings in the battle, other 1A beings.
Okay, you said you think your character could speed blitz Flash. So,
Yes,
like irrelevant speed would you place your character?
way higher to irrelevant speed.
Can you quantify that for me?
High. What do you mean by quantify?
Like, give me an exact amount. Like, 3 times baseline, transcendent, fictional transcendence. What? How far in?
Like he's real far in. Like yeah,
I
like
know, but the
fictional.
point of me asking you to like is for you to tell me exactly how far in, not just a vague, really far in. That's too vague. Okay, would you say he's like infinitely in?
You talking about like in speeds?
Yeah, speeds, AP,
Oh, you
all of
talking?
that. So would you say
Oh,
he's
you talking like in
like
infinite and accessible and middle and irrelevant speed?
yeah,
No, I
like
already
how?
said he's at
Okay, because
irrelevant.
when you're 1A, right?
Yeah, when
I know,
they
but if
you're
you're
one in
irrelevant
already
speed, right?
irrelevant speed. Yeah.
There's yeah, but you can have like 5 times baseline irrelevant. You can have an infinite transcendence into
Oh yeah,
irrelevant.
he's
You can have a fictional transcendence into irrelevant, and so on and so forth. So where would you put your character?
baseline baseline irrelevant, but in
Okay, I'm gonna.
fictional transcendence.
All right. So I'm gonna argue that Flash will really blitz your character. Um, now,
I ain't about
Flash
that.
would actually scale much higher than actually.
You talking about dimensionality?
Huh?
You talking about scaling dimensionality? Speed?
Uh, yeah, I'm scaling him into outer versal, right? Because
Oh, I
your
can get him
speed
higher.
and etc. Okay, well, get your character as high as you can. I want to be as fair as possible. You heard what I said, right?
Yeah.
All right. Also, can you drop scans? You have the scans, right?
Yeah. Wait a minute.
All right.
Wait a minute. Let me get this on scan.
All right.
She's a princess. Don't kill princess. I'm gonna take her away and back to the. I am. Fly. Then hit equal statement.
What's happening right now is Solo getting his scans.
He said that he's getting a scan real quick because he
Uh,
at first
well, I'm
wasn't.
sure you know
God
this, but you're getting
damn,
uphill right now, so I'm mute.
whatever. But I'm just gonna
Yeah, I
keep
know.
it like this. Want me to scale the planes or not?
Yeah. Can you scale everything? Yeah, I actually know really nothing about this verse. So yeah, scale the planets and all that for me. And then after that, I'll tell you why Flash Stomp.
Like how far in the, wait a minute. Like how many transcendences of Outerversal does he Flash have?
Well, he has an over a infinite fiction over an infinite amount of fictional transcendences. If you want me to exactly quantify, I can.
Like dimensionality.
Yeah, it would be at over an infinite amount of fictional and for reference, a fictional transcendence would be the difference, say 3D to 4D.
Scans.
All right, give me a sec. Hold up. All right. All right. So first things first, right? Flash scales to source, right? Because for one, he scales to he's been able to move around in the source, and the source has stated to stop people from moving around in it if it doesn't want them in it. As shown in this scan here, Flash moves around. All right. So there's consistent scaling to the source, and then all right. So let's
I can
start
scale
from the
interior
God
higher
sphere,
than
right?
the source. But you keep going.
All right. So the God sphere, right? According to the cosmology DC, the God sphere is where Platonic concepts live, right? And then right. So then limbo, right? Limbo fictionally transcends that, right? I'm gonna drop the scan. Give me a sec. Limbo fictionally transcends. Give me one more. Limbo fictionally transcends the sphere of the gods. Should be loading in a few seconds. Now, here's where things get interesting, right? So, above that, we now have the monitor sphere. And the monitor sphere it has a Platonic transcendence onto the source, as stated by Cosmic Armor Superman when he transcends from the monitor the limbo to the monitor sphere. It was stated that the basically Platonic compared to the limbo. And if, as you probably know, a Platonic transcendence is over an infinite amount of fictional transcendence. So if you don't know, you can basically think of it as basically this the monitor sphere transcends limbo the same way that Platonic concepts transcend normal people, right? So that would be above an infinite amount of fictional transcendence. Source at least fictionally transcends the monitor sphere because the source views the monitor sphere as fiction at least. So and I'm gonna drop the scan for that. Give me a sec. And the flash scale so that consistently.
You want me to, okay.
So yeah, the flash scales to that. So why would your character in the same league as a Flash?
Yeah. You want me to finish scaling?
Yeah.
Okay, so like, okay, Nerd, I had posted a scan of what is 1A. Then the Mundus infinitely well fictionally transcends Nerd. Then the lower planes of Oblivion infinitely transcends Mundus. Then the higher planes of Oblivion infinitely well fictionally transcends the lower planes. Then Magnus, you see Magnus on the map. It infinitely transcends Oblivion. And Ethereus instantly transcends Magnus. And I can show scans of Dovakiin scaling to Ethereus.
So you said 5 fictional transcendences.
Let me no 6.
Oh, okay, 6 fictional transcendences. Okay. So I'm just gonna argue since Flash has above an infinite amount, he would blitz in one shot.
Wait a minute.
Sorry about that. Like I was saying, I'd argue since Flash has an infinite amount of fictional transcendences to him, above an infinite amount, that he would blitz in one shot.
Well, how many chances does he have?
He has above an infinite amount.
I already said that they infinitely transcend each other.
Yeah, an infinite transcendence is the same way an infinite 3D being transcends a normal 3D being. A fictional transcendence would be the same way a 4D being transcends a limited 3D being, right? And so first of all, fictional transcendence would be higher than an infinite transcendence, and Flash has an infinite amount of fictional transcendences.
So does Dovakiin.
Can you explain why? You just said he has 6 infinite transcendences. Why would that be more than an infinite amount of fictional transcendences?
Wait a minute, I'm confused.
Yeah, so here, I have everything in my head. So, Cool Geek has scaled Flush to have an infinite amount of fictional transcendences. Whereas, say, you just said the Dovahkiin's fictional transcendences, but then now you're saying infinite. You may want to keep that in mind. Not to be rude.
Wait a minute, I got confused.
Yeah, just go ahead. Actually, go ahead and restart. Wait, are you actually newer to debating, by the way? Or are you new to Skyrim?
No, no, I scaled. I
All
just
right.
got confused when he said the infinite and fictional transcendence.
Yeah, so think of this, right? So infinite, that's below fictional, and he's scaling Flesh to have an infinite amount of fictional transcendences.
Yeah, that's what I had scaled Dovakiin to. No, that's what I said Dovakiin has too.
Oh, well then you didn't articulate it as well as you should have. Can you restate your scaling since apparently I misunderstood?
Okay, so I said Nerd. I already had posted a scan of why that's high 1A. Then I said Amundus, which infinitely fictionally transcends Nerd. Then the lower planes of oblivion infinitely fictionally transcends Mundus. Then the higher planes of oblivion infinitely transcends the lower planes. Then Magnus infinitely transcends oblivion, and Aetherius infinitely transcends Magnus.
Oh, okay. So you said 6 uh infinite fictional transcendences. Okay, I see. Well, I'm just gonna argue that a Platonic transcendence would be higher than 6 infinite fictional transcendences, because keep in mind, right? Say, I'm gonna use this as a comparison, right? So a high hyperversal being, right, would have infinite fictional transcendences on top of, say, a normal being like 3D, right? And then if you say multiply that by 6, right, you'll have 6 infinite fictional transcendences, right? But you still wouldn't be 1A. But a Platonic transcendence would be the same as a 1A transcendence, not just like 6 high hyper transcendences, right? So
I had
a
posted a
Platonic
scan of the
transcendence, which I said
Platonics.
Flash was. Okay, well, can you
Let me
show that
hear.
too?
Yeah, I'm about to post. I'm about to get this.
Is it me or is it quiet?
Oh, yeah, it's quiet. Sorry, I was reading his scan. Yeah, the first plane is a Platonic concept, right? And then you argue each one is an infinite amount of fictional transcendences onto 1A, right? So I'd just argue that the Flash, the transcendence from say uh, Limbo to the Monitor Sphere would be another 1A transcendence instead of just a bunch of high hyper transcendences onto uh
Those
1A,
are not
right?
those are not
So
hyperversal transcendences.
no, I'm using it as a comparison, right? So it'd be infinitely fictionally transcending one another on top of the 1A, right? And then I just argue that Flash has a uh Platonic transcendence onto his 1A, right? So that
You
would be higher.
just confused me even more.
Okay.
So
Okay. You know
platonic
how
is
fiction.
higher than fictional.
Okay, so the transcendences go infinite, which is then surpassed by fictional, which then would be infinite fictional, and then would be Platonic, right? Those are the different
Oh,
transcendences. Infinite transcendence would be like your regular transcendence, right? Like if I'm a regular person and you're, say, if you transcend me, that would make you infinite 3D. But if someone fictionally transcends me, that would mean they're 4D, right? And if someone infinitely fictionally transcends me, that would make them high hyperversal. But if someone platonically transcends me, that would make them 1A, right? So I'm arguing that your argument would be like an infinite fiction, six six infinite fictional transcendences
I meant
onto
platonic.
1A is lower than my platonic transcendence onto 1A.
Now I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
You said platonic transcendence is higher than fictional transcendence.
Yeah, it's higher than an infinite amount of fictional transcendences, yeah. Oh. So is that a concession? Okay, GG. Yeah, that was a pretty cool. Got to flex my flash debating real quick. Um,
Yeah, geek. But
but
there's one thing you
yeah,
forgot. There's one thing you forgot. Assuming if someone can scale
what?
Skyrim right, the mod crab solos DC and Marvel. I mean, you know that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I know that, but I have a hard time scaling the like transcendences.
Yeah, it's fucking weird, man. Like it's like you'll stop after you realize Nern is inherently 1A. Like besides the whole dragon shit, right? In the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. I'm telling.